So I hope you can hear me well. And I'm recording this webinar, so I hope it will be also available in on my YouTube channel. So welcome. I'm Nadia Freund, founder of Nadia Beauty Nail Academy, as you probably know. And I'm North American head distributor and educator for Magnetic Nail Design, which is a Dutch brand. And I am their distributor and educator in North America. I'm in the nail industry for 10 years, and I've been traveling across North America teaching classes. I'm traveling every year to Europe. Even this year, I managed to go there in February, so it was good for this year for more classes. And I'm updating all my skills and bringing them every year to you here back to Canada or to North America. I also have a very successful marathon due to the quarantine. I made a marathon with over 100 people in my first run. And if you want to see the works of the girls from the marathon, you can go to Nadia Beauty Marathon hashtag on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram at Magnetic Shop. And nadiabeauty.com is my website. It's pretty easy to remember and to see. I'm also Nadia Freund on Facebook and on pretty much everything. Nadia Freund or Nadia Beauty. Today I'm going to talk about the Elegance shaped nail. And using my fantastic software, I will switch to this view. Here you go. I don't think you can see my mouse though. Yeah, mouse probably doesn't work. Okay. So first of all, you can see that the apex of the Elegance shaped nail, and the apex is the highest point of the nail, is about in the area of the 50% of the nail. So before, like far before the stress point. The free edge is with a 45 degrees angle cut off. And from the apex, the line is pretty much straight and it has the same height as the cuticle line. And therefore, we apply the form, depending on the nail shape, we apply the either straight or down. And therefore, for the normal straight nails, you have either closed or up to 5 millimeters opening at the form. But if you have ski jumper nail, then you will have to apply the form lower so that the end of the nail is at the same height as the cuticle, as desired. And here you can see, you can't probably see, so let's go to my other camera. So I printed it out in black and white today. Yet I'm gonna give it in a production glove on so I don't get distracted. So this height of the nail, of the end of the nail, is the same as the cuticle. So in this case, when you have a straight nail, you apply the form, bend it down a little bit. But if you have a ski jumper nail, you apply the form even more lower down. If you have a hawk nail, then you apply the form straight or a little bit up so that this end is still on the same end as the same as the height as the cuticle. But this shape is not suitable for everyone. If you have a very, very high ski jumper nail, then you will have a hard time to go over this hump and growing down. For the ski jumper nails, I recommend slightly different shapes, and we will talk about it in another webinar. So the lower arch of this shape is parallel to the center line of the finger. And how to determine the center line of the finger? You have to see the whole nail. Don't look just at the very end. Like don't look just here. Look at the whole line. The center of this knuckle, connected, give that center line of the finger. You have to relax the hand. So if you put the hand on the table, just like this, and look from the side. That's how the nail, how the center line of the finger goes. So, and of course, my neighbors have to do something outside. I don't know if you can hear that. I hope not. It's pretty loud. So this nail, I took this nail today because it's the straightest nail, and something is wrong with it. So this nail is pretty straight, so I will bring my form absolutely, like, almost straight down like this. And I'm going to use today this, you see, these forms, the high-tech forms by Magnetic. And I already prepped the nail, so I will just wipe it dry. Okay. So here, it is very practical that you can just go like this. And depending on the length of your nail, you can either use the whole length of the form or bend it over. But if you want to bend it over, I recommend you... Oh, can you hear that? He's cutting something right beside my window, of course. I never hear my neighbors, but when I do the live streams, of course, they do something like that. So I just cut this little piece off, so it's not covering the opening. This gives extra strength to the form and will help me see how like, hard bendable it is. And it will help me to keep it in shape as I need. So if I apply form just straight like this, you can see that the height of the form, how do I turn it around? Let me actually put those little wings together. So the form is a little bit up, and then the end of the nail will be much higher than the cuticle. Can you see that? Is it the right angle? Let me see how the camera is bent, like this. I need to adjust my camera like this. Perfect. So much better. So you can see that I have to bring my form a little bit more down. Just like this. Here's the center line of the finger. Perfect, like this. Okay. The center line of the finger. And if I slide up a little bit, I can see where the height of my desired end of the nail will be and where the height of my cuticle is. So technically, this angle is correct and the wings will kind of connect. But before I completely apply it on, I have to cut those little corners, because you can see that if I put my form in, those bend up to the sides. With this form, the easiest way is to do it while the form is on the nail. If you're using the competition forms, I don't have competition forms on the table, I guess. If you're using competition forms, those ones, they also have those cut out lines. This form is easier to take off and cut in the air and then put back onto the nail. Here in this case, I can just go from here and connect to the stress point. You can do it on a client very, very, very careful, just like this. Or you take off the form, but before that you have to measure how far are you cutting in. Side. It's easier to take it off. So I cut 1, 2, 3, 4 at the 5th line. So I will take it off and cut it down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the 5th line. Just like that. And I don't like to take off the form, or don't recommend to take off the form for the beginners, because now you have to adjust the angle again. But for us, it is practice. So we'll practice again and see the center line of the finger, the lower arch parallel to the center line of the finger, and the height of the end of the nail is the same height as the cuticle. I connect the wings and very gentle pinch the form here underneath of the finger, right here. If I keep it like this, then it's going to be something very straight. But the sideways of the nail are bent in here. So technically, if you would elongate them, they would become stiletto. So to get that stiletto, you just go and pinch the end of the form. And again, you just don't just pinch the end of the form, you also pinch here very close to the surface of the to the top surface kind of thing. But don't bend it over here, just underneath, so you cannot see those side walls when you look from above. So you don't want to see it bulky like this. You want to see it nice and crisp and sharp. Also, the form shouldn't be anywhere, not on the top, not on the side, wider than the side walls of your natural nail, or better to say, wider than the stress points. Does it make sense? I see a couple people joined us. Please say hi. Not check the chat. Oh, Vladlen is here. Hi. Perfect. So we just pinch, 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 and always pinch right underneath here. So the right on the skin. And as I said, if your nail is straight like mine, then your wings will be connected. Pretty much. Check again, make sure that your form is not too high. Technically, the end of the form should be the same height as the stress point. If you're making a long nail, then it would be a stiletto. Is it a stiletto? No, it's not a stiletto. That's more like a stiletto. Perfect. So technically you could make a stiletto here, but we're not making a stiletto, we're making an elegance shape and pretty nice and long nail. I'm also looking from the top if it is a straight nail or not. And of course, if you're making very long nails, you should go as you go. Oops, now I'm hitting the cameras. Hi, Michelle. Okay, so you can see these nails are growing to the sides. This one grows up, this goes to this side, and this grows a little bit to this side. So I'm adjusting just a tiny little bit, because if I would make this nail very straight, I would definitely overfile it on one side and it would be too thick on the other side, it would be too heavy and they will break. And don't read it, the classic almond is wrong. Okay, so let's build and make a French as I promised. Oh, awesome. So you can read it, but I can't. Let me see you guys. Here I am. Hi. So, um, thanks for joining. One more time. I'm using a new software. I'm using a new platform. I'm using everything new besides the cameras. It's old cameras. And I wanted to wipe one of them. So I feel like the camera is probably a little bit dirty. That's why it's also a good idea. So technically, I have a correct piece of paper, but when I'm looking at it, it is as if it's mirrored. That's why I'm so confused. And that's why I'm asking you if you can see that. And I will probably see it in the recording. So today I'm working with the high-tech forms and of course with my favorite power gel. And I will start with the pink, building up the base, and then I will make French for you. Especially if you took my marathon, you know how to make an elegance nail, but you don't know. I didn't teach you yet how to do the French. So let's fight. Okay. So how about the light? Is it good enough? Pink. So Power Gel by Magnetic, as you might know, you probably, if you don't, you better watch the videos I made about the Power Gels. It is a it's not acrylate, it is a oligomer, which is a gel. So it's more a gel than acrylic. So it's not like polygel. It's more like a gel. So it's flexible in wearing, and I will make a design like that, hopefully in French though. Shiny, sparkly, perfect. Let's see. Softbone Primer. I very recommend to use that. Always shake the bottles. Where's my... Why am I not in the camera? Probably messed it up as I was cleaning it. Well, I can move into the camera. There you go. Shake the bottle first, and then a very, very, very dry brush. And just apply it close to the cuticle, but don't touch the cuticle. It is no acid primer, or acid-free primer, and it helps to adhere the nails, basically. Brush wipe and prep and wipe liquid, prep and wipe liquid, just like this. We recommend to use it. Where is the camera? Here's the camera. We recommend to use that because prep and wipe is an acetate and it doesn't evaporate as easy as the alcohol does. But technically, you can use any liquid. If you have alcohol or nail cleanser, you can use that. We achieved the best results with a prep and wipe. So I'm using a student acrylic brush and making sure I don't have any gaps underneath of the nail. A very, very thin and little amount, and the brush should be almost dry. The key is to keep the brush dry so the liquid doesn't run into the gel. We need the liquid only, not the liquid, this prep and wipe, only to keep the brush clean, not to work into the product, right? And you can see that little amount goes long, long way, and I don't need that much, definitely. So I can always take off a little bit and put it back into the jar. I'm pushing on the form when I'm holding it like that, so I will have to hold my nail like this. Can you see what I'm doing? Perfect. And I am helping myself to file less afterwards. I'm creating right away the straight side wall. and the 45 degrees angle on the end. Oops, sorry, I'm running out of the camera. Here you go. Very, very thin, because the end of the nail will be 5 millimeters, 0.5 millimeters, or the half of a millimeter. So it is a very, very, very thin nail. So I don't need any thickness right now. Before I go into the lamp, I'm double checking if the height of the end is about the same height as the cuticle, and if the lower arch is straight out. It is pretty much so on this side, and pretty much on this side. And from the top, checking again if the form didn't move as I was going up and down. And I cure this layer first for about 10 seconds. And then I will be using either these or these pinching tools. Let me see. And afterwards, I might use one of the clamps. Or not. I will see. I will check it. So what is the difference between those two? This one is a professional tool. It's very heavy-duty tool. And it has an angle, as you see. It's perfect for Russian almond, for stiletto, for elegance shape, and for ballerina. I'm checking if the gel is cured and pinch. Also with this, I can pinch it here, always with a 45 degrees angle. This is a professional tool, and I recommend you to use this only when you already know what you're doing by pinching. Because when I pinch my nails, I pinch them hard and strong. But you can see it's perfect for stiletto. It just goes right in there. Perfect, and continue curing. And here I am. Hello. As next, I will use nude. Should I use? No, I shouldn't use sparkling pink. I will use power gel nude, and of course I pulled out extender, so I'll better grab my nude power gel. Quite a few jars, and all of them say nude. Here you go. So nude is less transparent and is more peachy shade of camouflage power gel, and extender power gel is a little bit more beige and is a little bit more transparent. So it's kind of very natural kind of skin, you know, how the skin feels sometimes almost like transparent, you know, if you take it thinner. Does it make sense? Okay, perfectly cured. Awesome. And always double check the sidewalls. I have to fade again. Here we go. So always check if this is nicely pinched. Okay. So this is going to be my nude. I have a video on YouTube about magnetic power gels, so I'm not gonna pay too much attention right now to it. By the way, the elegance shape is one of the shapes you are learning in the marathon, and the marathon has always a special going on. And let me see if I already have it in here. But the girls that are watching the marathon right now, most of them took it already. And start the offer. Here you go. If you're taking the marathon now, if you sign up today, you are paying for 4 weeks only $150 or for 8 weeks $200. So I think you can see it now. There is a button somewhere and you can probably see it. Please let me know if you can see that, because as I said, I'm testing out this new software. So taking a camouflage, you take off the top surface and get the gel from underneath, because the top surface is a little bit oily and from time to time you need to mix it. And I also am talking about that in my video. Actually, I'm probably take off the form. Very, very careful. I will take off the form because the form is in the way. If you doubt, see how good is the glue? If you doubt, keep the form on, especially on a client. And making sure it's pinched nicely. So I'm applying a small amount of the gel. I can do two ways. The first way, I am building the whole cuticle area with a nude, and the second way, I am building that area with a pink and use my nude only for the extension. But anyways, the main thing is now you can see me what I'm doing here. So I am using this brush, and it seems to be too big. So I will take a click-on brush, premium gel brush oval. I'll just clean it a little bit. Of course, not a good preparation as always. That's me. It's not the best way to clean the brushes, as you know, but it is how it is right now. Sorry about that. And I will just go into the cuticle, but you see the gel doesn't go anywhere, right? Just go into the cuticle and very gentle build the connection. Then I'm taking my big brush again and build the extension. So I build up the wall, and then using the belly of the brush, I'm extending the nail bed right in there. What I want to achieve is that my nail bed is much longer than my natural nail. And technically, in my French class, I'm teaching you the measurements, the ideal measurements. But I can say only one, that it is looking better when the nail bed extension is for this length, at least the half of the nail. Better is almost like 2/3. At least the half of the whole nail. Does it make sense? And now I am building up my French line. So from the apex, it is hard to see what I'm showing. Let me put some gray paper underneath. From the apex, my nail will go down to the end. So there is no reason to build this so high up if I'm going to build it straight. So I can already build the apex and imagine pretty much the straight line. The height of the smile line in the center is about 1.5 millimeter maximum. 1 to 1.5. The height of the smile line in the corners here should be about 1 to 1.5 millimeters for this shape. Don't forget to build up a little lip here, little thing hanging over. on one side and on the other side. And it is getting pretty warm. It's funny because this room is the coldest in my house because it doesn't get any sunlight or any heat, nothing. And it's during the day it's pretty cold. But when I'm doing the webinar, because of a lot of light in here, it gets warm. So the gels start to run. But I have to be very careful. And checking that the longest point of the nail and the longest point of the fringe are on the same line with the center of the finger here. If you don't build those corners perfectly, if you build them too thick, if you build them too thin, then you will have no fringe. You will lose your fringe. So you have to bring it a little bit over, make a lip with about 45 degrees angle like this. But bring it to the point with your brush. And I can play forever, so let me just cure it. Okay, and I will cure it. Cure. And when I start to feel warm, let me turn it around. I start to feel warmth. I'm very carefully pinch just tiny little bit. Don't pinch too hard because then it might lift the color if it didn't cure through. Just tiny little bit, double checking, putting it back. Here, this is a hygienic file system by Magnetic. This one is plastic core, and I have a metal core somewhere. Oh, one is in sterilizer, of course, and the other one is here. And I have to clean it. It was clean, but it got a little bit dust on it. There you go. So hygienic file system by Magnetic. As you can see, there was magnetic ones on. This is a metallic core, and the plastic core you get in a pack, so always included. But metallic one you can get separately. So these are the stickers that I'm carefully removing the paper and applying on the core. Okay. Who is using those? Did you guys already try these files? I'm taking prep and wipe, removing the sticky layer, and of course I can build up a little tiny bit product actually before I go filing. Let's do that. I will take a little bit more of the nude. Because it was more important to build up perfect fringe rather than at the cuticle. Because at the cuticle I can always add a little bit. And from the apex, just down. The smoother you make it, the easier it is to file. I will have to file it down anyways. Okay, and cure again. And the second question I have is, who is using Power Gel in the work now? Are you guys using that or not? Have you tried that? Are you using it? And I will switch myself. Here I am. Hello. So I have my chat down in my computer right in front of me. That's why I'm looking down, but I'm here in the camera. And it is finally summer, and it is finally amazing weather for people to reconnect with friends. And I hope you are enjoying it too. Don't forget to learn and study, though. It's perfect time now when you cannot do too much outside. Take classes, take online classes, take live classes, take a lot of classes. I'm taking myself classes now. I'm learning also these shapes, but by other trainers just for fun. And then I will, because I need to take a second level of this class. From this trainer, I need to take the shaping classes. So technically, I'm teaching you that what I'm learning right now. Doesn't make any sense, right? So prep and wipe. And remove the sticky layer. You have not used magnetic. Well, you should try that. Michelle. Then it's a Michelle that I don't know, or I know, but it's different Michelle. So, Michelle I know, but you haven't tried the power gel. So that can also be. Okay. I'm taking this file. So you take a very, very strong file. If you don't have a very strong file that is not bendable, like you see, this one is as good as not bendable. Even with a plastic core, it is less flexible. You can take an emery board, which is the wooden file, or you can take afterwards, after you try it with your file, you can use with the regular file, you can use this for the perfection. Okay, let me bring the brushes away. By the way, did you see how I'm hanging my brushes? Let me show you. This is my lamp that I'm usually having above my table. I have two of them from both sides. And that's how I'm hanging my brushes. And then they can stay clean and dry. Here you go. Click on brushes. And they are also available now by Create Beauty. Here you go. So I start filing straight and into the sides. When I file into the side, I file with a 45 degrees angle, just like this. Can you see that? So I'm filing inside there. And I'm filing inside here. Don't have to file much because it's almost perfect already. But I have to make sure that the height of it is according the end. Oh, how do you say that? The shape of this smile line goes like the shape of the end. Therefore, I'm filing the lower arch straight a little bit on both sides. Very, very careful. And I'm filing 45 degrees angle. Oh, it gives me goosebumps. Ooh. Okay. And if this is filed correct, then you can also see how to file the free edge. I can see that this is a little bit longer than this side, so I'll file a little bit more. And I can see now that the whole front thing is a little bit crooked. Of course, I also make mistakes, especially if I'm working with a camera. So you can see now that the highest point of the French is here, but the highest point of the nail will be here. And therefore, I'm also filing this straight line from the apex down. So I will have to apply just very beautiful French without filing too much. See, it's still parallel and it has to go down. So I file a little bit more. And a little bit more again. could use my vent. And it's about enough. You see how much extra I could file down, right? Now I just file it around. So I can see that my nail is beautifully getting there. So afterwards, I don't have to file much. And always checking the height. The height here, the height here, the height here, and everywhere. It is very hard to show you in the camera. I don't know if you can see that. But probably a good idea if I take a picture and then you just message me and I will just send you those pictures. Perfect. Just message me and I will send it to you. And going into the corners. Making sure it's even again. Because now you can shape it and file it as you like. Okay, then I take my little one and get in the corner. Actually, file a little bit around the cuticle too. But don't get too close to the nail because you have to file in for the fringe. Still looks like it's a little bit uneven. It's okay. Okay, I take the baby knife. And remove dust from my... That's what happens when you have a live stream and forget that you have very, 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 very thin nail. Oh my God. Well, I know how to fix it. It's a very, very easy fix. You know. Because I know how. I can just very, very easy do that. Check my old form. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, just after 4, and here it is 1, 2, 3, 4, and it is by 5. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, right after 4, and here it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And everybody who knows me knows that that happens to me all the time in the live streams. Michelle says, no, it's okay. Because I know how to do that very quick and easy. Should have been more careful. Just take a little bit of the gel, put it on here. See how thin it was? Take my brush. Where's my brush? Clean. and just build it back up. There you go. Not a big deal at all. It's never happened. Perfect. And cure. So let's see that little piece, tiny, tiny little thin piece. I don't know if you can see how thin it is. It is as thin as paper, pretty much. That's why it's so easy breakable, and it's still flexible. It's funny. See how flexible it is? That's why it is, because it is an oligomer and not a polygel, not acrylic or acrygel. Look. Woo! And it flew away. Of course. That's me, all chaotic Nadia. That happens, not a big deal. Just curing it. We'll just take another minute. As next, I'm taking, so I showed you before, 2 different designs, and I will take the second one because I like how I did that. And therefore, I'm taking liner gel white. It is a very, very, very high pigmented white gel, like very, very high. And I will take a thin brush. This is Premium Gel Brush Oval Junior. And a little bit of this gel, and a little bit goes a long way. And I'm applying it on here. And on the nail. Hope the nail doesn't turn out crooked, because on this side the foam wasn't sitting properly. Well, we'll figure it out. And cure. As next, once this is cured, I will take my summer favorite gel, May's Choice 2020. May is our founder of the company, May Liang. And every year she's picking a shade of red because she loves reds. She's picking a shade of red to go for everyone. And it is called May's Choice. And it is a limited edition, always. And I will take tiny, tiny little amount to go along here. Using this little Ultra Designer, going in there. And just fade it down, just like this. I don't worry much about the look of my fade because it will be covered anyways, but I have to make sure that I have enough product on the smile line, and it will make it look very, very sharp if it's there. And I will give you a trick if you overfile it. How can you fix that? So the ideal French is when you don't see the side walls from the extension, underneath of the extension. Does that make sense? Because of the extension. Here you go. And I don't need this on here anyway, so it will go filed. It will be filed, and I am curing it. As next, I'm taking this collection. This is a confetti, nail art confetti set, 118848. It's a very shiny 12 color set with a confetti, and they are, some of them are kind of iridescent, and they are all very, very pretty and shiny and sparkly. Perfect for summer. Oh, and I spread them all over here, the place. And I will also use glass gel, transparent pink glass. And there are two ways of doing this design, and I will show you my favorite. So I will take a thin amount of gel, very, very thin, and go in here. Polish it all. Take the ombre brush, for example, and place those confettis in there. You can technically use any glitter. You can use glitter spray, or you can use these confettis, and I like to spread it out, put more at the smile line and put less at the end. And I don't like to put any in the smile line here because I don't want my product to get separated and break the nail. Right? Shiny? Perfect. And cure. Once this is cured, a little bit at least, I take a little bit more of this glass gel. It's one of the 6 colors. As long as curing, I can show you the colors. Here you go. It's pink, red, blue. No, this is yellow. This is cyan, this is blue, and this is green. I'm pretty sure that it goes that way. Cyan, however you call it, and the dark blue. Those are amazing as they themselves or on top of any glitter. So I'm taking oops, too much. Very, very thin gel again and apply it over. Just like that. Can you see that shine? Is it even possible to see it in the camera? I don't know. Anyways, I will cure that first, and I will try to show you with a different lighting. And as next, I will take a Power Gel Clear. You can take any clear gel, basically. It goes very fast with any gel. I will just take clear. Clean my spatula. Everything I'm doing with one hand because the other one is in the lamp. There you go. Again, open up, grab some gel, make sure there is no bubbles inside. Bring over. Clean. And go for it. Just press. See how I'm moving? Pretty much like acrylic. If you never worked with acrylic, you just put the brush and roll with the brush the product where you need it. Push it to the stress point there. And do the same here. If the gel starts to stick to the brush, just get back into it and press it down. And of course, I took too much gel. Did you see how little amount of gel you need? And I can already press it to the thickness I need. And to avoid filing, I'm just taking everything off I don't need. This can go back into the jar. Oops. If there's too much pink you're cutting off, you can just throw this away. Who likes filing? Hands up. Send me a smile if you like filing. Send me 10 smiles if you don't. Send me a heart if you don't like filing. If you don't like filing, then just send me a heart. If you watch this video on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to like this video. Okay, and I will go cure this shortly. Not shortly, short. And I will take my pinching tool. And I start to get hearts. That's awesome. Updates and offers. I'll get back to the offers in a second. So we can test it again. And I pinch. And I remove the form. It's a little bit too thick on this side, but it is okay. I will take a little clamp and clean it a little bit so you don't get confused. My clamps. And I'm going to pinch it like this from here down there. You can pinch it this way or this way. I prefer this way because then the gel cures better. I switch over again to my face and fade. And it is cured. And I have to put away everything I don't need that I couldn't do with one hand. There you go. My nail is cured. I'm taking a wipe. And so I wouldn't have all of this if I wouldn't break that nail before, right? And let me show you the form again. So you can see, I hope you can see it very well. Can I zoom it in? No, I can't zoom it in. Anyways, you can see the first layer, you are filing low arch and the free edge. That's what we did. And then we applied the whole nail. The second step, we will file the side walls, pretty flat, like flat straight lines. Then we will file the free edge. Then again, from the apex to the free edge, straight line. Then we will connect that straight line with the sides. And then we will work on the cuticle area and finalize everything with the lower arch. Let's do that. And I have it here printed again so we can always check. So first, the side walls. Very careful, because the nail is going to be very thin. And I might overfile it on this side, but it's not a big deal. I mean the smile line. I will show you how to fix it. And the 45 degrees angle. Then I'm filing the straight line from the apex to the end. And this nail is already super thin, so I'm just very gently doing that and connect. I put my file on the side, bring up and down. In my webinars, in my marathon, I mean, I'm, of course, giving the complete feedback. I don't teach French there and don't give feedback to the French unless there's just something small I can say, very discreet. But it's more about the shape, and the shape is the trouble, the biggest trouble. Once you have the shape down, you can build, you can start working on your French. And that's why in my marathon, I ask the girls not to do the French because it's not gonna make me happy. All right. There you go. And the cuticle area. Also, if you already took my marathon, once those forms are ready, you can request and I can probably send you to download them. And if you are, and if you're going to take the marathon, you probably will be able to download them yourself. So on the last one is I'm filing the lower arch. When everything is ready, I'm filing the lower arch parallel to the center line of the finger. So don't file it down there like this. File it straight. Oops. Sorry. Cramp. Oh, you don't see what I'm doing. Well, pretty much on this side, I kind of know that I'm always overfiling, so I'm very careful filing in. On this side, I have more space to file. Ooh. And because of that little break that I had, I was scared to pinch it more. And I could have do it much, much more. I could have make it much, much more narrow on the end. But that's what happens when you do the live stream. Nobody's perfect. It's still a beautiful nail. I'm taking now a... oh my gosh, says Michelle, it's gorgeous. I love the shape so much. I leave the shape. I love the shape. That's misspelling on Freud, like they say. So you misspell something meaning that too. So you leave the shape and you love the shape. So I'm taking again the disposable hygienic file system, and it's a buffer with 340 grid, and I'm just buffing this nail. Vladlena, who is also watching, she took my marathon. She just finished. She was in the last group. So if you're here still, you can give us your feedback. You just send it to me today. Actually, the feedback is also available on my Instagram. You can see it in my highlights, where the girls are giving their feedback to my marathon. And before you overfile that little file, you go right in there without too much pressure, right? And again, dust. Remove dust with a baby wipe here. Take a nail wipe. Remove the oils. Amazing marathon, recommended 100%. Thank you very much. Well, considering what Lena, I think you haven't done the nails before, right? Just the gel polish, and then you made amazing nails. The girls that never did nails before, that were just doing manicures, pedicures, and gel polish, they did amazing, amazing. I'm so proud of them. So I will take this little brush. This is Jessica Choice brush, and gel polish, tiny little bit, like as good as none. Whoops. Whoa. And here, if you need, you can just give that a little dot. I mean, I don't need it on this side. This side is perfect. This side here, you can see I overfilled a little bit, or I applied too much white. So I have that little dot of white, and then I'm just gently touching it up so nobody can see that white there. Right? Nice, tapered in Elegance. It's not like super tight, super pinched. It is narrow. It is actually the free edge. I don't like. Let me cure it very quick, and I will explain you. It is tapered, but it's not super narrow. I like it super narrow though. If you know me, you know that I like super narrow things, right? I will just touch up a little bit here because I don't feel like the free edge is the longest point of the free edge and the longest point on the smile line. They should be on one line. They kind of not. It's hard to do it on yourself. It's easy on a client because you can turn the hand of the client as you want, and yourself is always a little bit harder. Because when I look this side, I want to file from this side. When I look from this side, I want to file from that side. So it's weird. I just better keep it. Don't touch it anymore before I get it even worse. What top gel do I have here on the table? Flex and Shine. So I'll just take the Flex and Shine. I need disconnect. Thanks a lot. You're very welcome. And I hope the recording will work. So Flex and Shine is a thicker top gel. Doesn't have a sticky layer. And it made the nail look a little bit wider. So the French itself was too short for my taste. So I should make a longer French. And let me see. Here I am. Okay, curing. So a couple mistakes what I made. Not really mistakes, but I made the elongation too short. So that's why the nail looks a little bit heavier. When you make a classical shaped nail, you have to be very, very careful so that the nail plate extension or that elongation doesn't look heavier, and then it doesn't make the nail look bulkier. Therefore, your nails, your side walls have to be absolutely straight, and all the lines have to be absolutely straight. But my French is supposed to be longer. Not the French, the extension supposed to be longer and less colored part. I haven't done French in a while, so please excuse me. Still pretty. I like it. Ding, 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 ding. The only thing with these nails, I can't wear my golf gloves. Now I started to play golf, and golf gloves don't fit on the long nails. So I either skip the glove or have to shorten my nail, one or the other. Okay, so let's see. And here's the nail. You can see absolutely straight side walls. So it's not bulky at all, but it looks a little bit bulky because of the shape of the smile line. So I like it more tapered, more narrow, and I like it with a longer nail bed. But it's pretty good for the live stream. I like it. It looks very natural and elegant. See, very light. The lower arch is parallel to the center line of the finger. The upper arch is at the same height as, the upper arch ends at the same line as the cuticle. Yeah, like this, cuticle. And the lower arch is parallel to the center line of the finger. Mission accomplished. This one is cashmere. We have cashmere and lotus cuticle oil. And cashmere smells so good. Well, both of them smell good, but cashmere is better. Kyra says, looks good. Thank you, Kyra. I didn't know you were watching. Welcome. And I take a clean wipe and just polish the nail. There you go. I don't know how good is the light. The stream is different from apparently from my computer. Where it is? Yeah, looks weird in the camera, but you can see it's tapered in. The shadows are showing very wide nail. I don't know. It's not as wide as it looks in the camera probably, and it is very, very thin. You can see how thin it is. It is a credit card thickness. Let me grab the credit card. My stamping magnetic stamping plates thick, and then you can see that the thickness of the credit card is the same pretty much as my nail. So it's a very thin nail. It was so thin that it broke on the beginning, the lower arch, not the lower arch, the first layer, but now it is very strong. But because it's a power gel, it is oligomer, it is still flexible. So if you break it, it's not breaking. It's first it gives plays a little bit with you. Okay, and here I am again. So, well, I will switch on the offer the last time. Start the offer and publish. So if you are interested in getting this marathon, what I'm talking about, with 8 shapes in 8 weeks, you can get either 4 weeks with for 4 shapes, or you can get 8 weeks with 8 shapes. And you can save almost 50% doing that, because the marathon is now much more expensive. Okay, and I remove the offer now, and I get back to the chat. So, ladies and gentlemen, Thank you very much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my Instagram. The link will be below, and it is Magnetic Shop. And just follow up with me. Every week I'm coming out with Nadia's Nail Talk. So I'm answering the questions. Please send me questions if you have any nail business related questions. It can be something about your business. It can be something about your clients. It can be something about whatever topic about from the beauty or nail industry. Beauty, I mean nail industry, or nail salon or nail clients. Thank you very much for watching again. I have this beautiful nail one. I like it. It's pink and sparkly. The products you can find at nadiabeauty.com. Very easy, just like my name here. And did I forget something? Probably not. You know how to find me. Every week I'm live anyways. Send me the questions, as I said. And once a month I'm coming out with a webinar. Whatever topic you want, just ask me and give me ideas. And if you don't know me yet, well, just say hi and just get my friend on Facebook. I'm on Facebook a lot. And I will see you in my next webinars. And now let me figure out how to switch this thing off. I hope I will manage that.